what happened to the land that my father and my grandfather and my grandfather used to work hard in that land and to make sure that land is in a good health for hundreds of years. And all of a sudden, their work just go like that. I mean, it's not acceptable, and it's not just like this. They came and they killed 90 person, over 90. Actually, I said 90 because I would like to say than the real number. The real number was more than 90. In Deir Yassin, I don't know if you ever heard about Deir Yassin before. Deir Yassin
The
is a
massacre.
village in Jerusalem
I've not heard.
where the Jews actually Jewish organization, and they came and made a horrible massacre. They killed over 90%, probably over. Not what the number exactly.
I think they were 143 people killed in a few hours.
Yeah.
Most of them were
children and
women.
Yeah, one time I went over these names by name, but I found missing names, and I tried to find the of the family. That's why I said 90, over 90, because I wasn't sure where the others, what families. I don't want to be like.
I will tell you about it. The men were working outside the village. This is why not all of them were killed. The ones that were not killed were working outside the village. This is why. Otherwise, they would have been killed like all others.
So that's why, we lived, and my father told me he was like 7 years old when he left from this village with his mother and his other two brothers also. Actually, I was in prison. I was in Israel prison for first time I was 1 year. A second time I was for 6 months, and the third time I was for 18 days. And the 3 times I was in prison, I was treated very bad. They humiliate me in very bad ways. The 18 days actually they put me in prison because they caught a book in my bag. I was going back from college. I saw that book coming. Let's talk about the intelligence of Israel. So I bought that book, and they saw the book with me. Actually, the soldiers stopped the vehicle that I was in that time, and they start searching in my books, and they saw that book. They put me in prison for just 18 days just to have a book, and the author was an Israeli author. It's not Palestinians, and it's not Arab, or it's not even American or European. It was Israeli. It was a Mossad. It was a Mossad person who wrote that book. And, I just bought that book, and put me 18 days. Imagine 18 days in the bed. I don't want to tell you about that time, it's bothering me. So.
My dad was arrested for nothing.
For nothing?
The second.
For nothing.
For being
the
Palestinian.
Second time, being Palestinian.
Crazy.
The second, yeah. So anyway, the second time, like I told you, they caught a tape with me with Palestinian songs. So they put in jail for 6 months. And the first one, and that was something. There's also something about being involved in throwing stones and stuff like this. That was 20 years ago. So actually, they're not good at all, the government or the people in Israel. I'm not saying now all the people is bad in Israel, but most of them, yes, bad, very bad, and very dangerous. Okay, and they shouldn't just be there. They should move from Israel. They should just everyone have his luggage and go back to where he came from. They can go back to Poland. They can go back to Russia. They can go back to Iraq. They can go back to Syria. Okay.
Germany.
And if they want to choose to live with us, that's fine. But yeah, they believe me. I'm telling you the truth now. I'm not creating things from out of the space. I'm telling you about the truth and how if they want. I don't think this is very correctable truth. They can't correct themselves. These people, they just can't change their way now. They like I told you, they fed with hatred. They just very bad against us. So the only
Jihad,
the
can
only
Sama, go ahead.
Jihad, I will tell you a story about one of my friends. He's an Israeli. He's half Egyptian and half German. He was raised in a kibbutz in Israel, what's called Israel, and and he just one time he saw some ruins for a Palestinian house, and he decided to ask about it. And his parents they did not answer him. They said, "Oh, it's only Palestinian. Never mind it." So the guy decided to look around, to read, and to figure things out because he thought there's something that's not right over here. So he just read and knew what really happened, and he said that he was never told about the real thing that happened and how they got here and who were there. They very insist on the idea of land of no people with no people of no land and this kind of thing. So the guy is a pro-Palestinian now. He's an Israeli left wing. He's a pro-Palestinian, but because he decided to do this, his parents dumped him. At the age of 15, he had to live by himself, and to just figure out a way to live, he works in anything with the least amount of money. And even his mother told him that she wished that one of the Israeli soldiers would shoot him in his head for being a pro-Palestinian and because he cares for that people. He's in demonstrations in Bala'in and Nabi Saleh every week. And he's the one who always tells me that, believe me, most of Israelis are racist against you guys. When he goes to Ramallah and to the cities in West Bank now, he's welcomed and he eats with Palestinians and everything is just fine. But it's not the vice versa for Palestinians if they go to Israel. And I have tried that. So this is what's really happening. I guess people in Israel, most of them, like you said before, they are victims of the Zionist movement. They are so brainwashed that I don't think how we can correct that. But I really believe if people go back to their instinct, they would just figure out what's wrong and what's right and how to deal with each other. Most of my friends who are pro-Palestinian, they are Israelis left-wing, they just want to leave Israel now because it's intolerable to live there anymore. They just want to leave there. I'm very sad because those are the people who I really want to live with, but they cannot live in Israel, their own country, as they say now, because people are being racist against them because they support Palestinians.
But Alma, you must be aware, and you have to be open-minded to the people and the perspectives you see with the most frequency are the people that you surround yourself with. So some of what you say is entirely accurate because we agree that there are those people on the fringe in every single side and in American politics, right and left, and liberals like myself and right-wing people, like those those the religious right here in the United States. But I just need you to feel that if you were strolling through those same streets that you're discussing, or most of the people being as prejudiced as you perceive, I think you would actually conclude with some are. And I think you would remove the word from most are. It just, and again, I'm tipping my hat to the two of you. You know, I'm speaking again from Midtown, New York City. What do I really know?
I'm just telling you about my personal experiences. I'm not generalizing for most of the people. I'm telling my personal experiences, which this is what actually happened with me. I'm sad to say this because this is not how I want people to be. But the sad truth that this is what I faced, but when I talk to other people who try to go on my approach, they face the same thing. This is sad, and we don't want to believe that, but this is what happened. I would not mind having many Israelis being not racist to me, but sadly, it's not the way it's happening. Even the Arabs who immigrated and went to Israel, they're being racist with Arabs. Like, we're the same. You just have a different religion. Why are you being racist to me? The worst part of Israeli soldiers are actually the Arab soldiers who are just Arab Jews. They're being the worst to me at checkpoints. Why is that? Because they are brainwashed. They're educated to hate us. They don't want to be part of us because they think we just want to kill them. I mean, if you want to kill them, we would just do this every day, but this is not happening.
So I want to ask both of you one last question from me to show how naive I am or informed I am. Let's hear what you might have seen. I have been told, even in grade school books, there's reference to how prejudice of Israelis and Jews just in general. In grade school books, things taught you from a very, very young age. Do you two experience that from your youth, or are you able to bring your own conclusions and make up your own mind as you go forward in your later
years? Katie, are you talking about the books and Palestinian schools and youth?
Yes.
These books are actually controlled by the intelligence of Israel. Every word, we can't even have a word Palestine until recent, 5-6 years ago. We was not allowed to know about our culture or our heritage, or if they see a flag, anybody was have his flag, he was throwing in jail for 6 months to 1 year just for having a flag for Palestine. So they control every sentence. They control every word. But
right, I hear you 100%. But besides the Palestinian area controlled, because it's Israel government controlled, how about in most of the Arab states?
Okay, I can clearly answer.
Most of the Arab state is controlled by the government also, which is very friend with Israel. They very friend with Israel. Okay, like the one like Syria. Okay, Syria, they have double standard in Syria. Okay, the side work with Israel to keep him in to keep Al-Assad and his family in the power. Okay. And the other standard where we are the supporters for the Palestinians, and we are the resistance for the this is only words without they never do things only the double standard. But for the government like Jordan, no, like Egypt, no, because actually Israel have eyes in these government, okay, and they control what they want to control. If they want to put things against Israel, they put it on purpose. You know what I mean? They put it there, but on purpose. But everything, if they want to trouble, they create trouble. They know how to create trouble. The 9/11 does not exist. Let's make 9/11.
Alma, is that your experience? You said you wanted to speak.
Yes. I would say I could clearly speak about this because I studied in 3 different Arab countries, which are Palestine, Jordan, and I studied in Dubai as well. And I should say, for example, in history books, they always try to avoid speaking about that part, like the occupation of Palestine. They would just state it in one paper, Israel occupied Palestine in 1948, and that's all. They would not go into details and the war and what actually happened and the Zionist movement and all that. If you want to learn about that, you have to make your own effort. On the other hand, they would only, in like Arab poetry or poems, they would just state few poems about Palestine and we love Palestine and things like that. It's just like a compliment. And this is the case. It's really sad, but this is the case even in the schools in Palestine itself. They are not taught history as the way it happened in details. This is what I always had argues with teachers with, because we as Palestinians studying in Palestinian schools, we need to know history in details. The problem did not just start in 1948, it started way long time before that. And we have to know about this, but we're not taught because even in the Palestinian territories, Israel has to control such things, and this is not acceptable. And the PLO has to go with this for Israel because, there are some agreements and treatment and everything. They don't want the Palestinians to be raised to, hate Israel the way we should for the creation, because I totally agree with jihad. I'm against the existence of Israel, but I'm not against the Jews who would want to live with us. So yeah, as I said, from 3 different perspectives, from 3 different countries, we were never raised for even the concept of jihad as you would think about it, because the concept of jihad it's very complicated for people to understand, but it's not like how people picture us. We just want to kill Israelis. Killing Israelis is a pleasure, and you will just go to heaven and everything. This actually never happened. Actually, I remember having issues with one of my religion teachers in Dubai, that she always said to me, Alma, you should calm down. This conflict will just be solved when the world ends. So just do nothing about it. And this is not acceptable for me as well. So I think this would answer your question and your concerns.
Right. John, did you say you live in the States?
I'm sorry?
Did you say you live in the States?
I made a mistake?
That's my bad English. I said, do you live in the States? In the United States?
Oh, this is my bad hearing. I live in Chicago, actually. Yeah.
Okay, just curious, because the reason why I say that is because you have both perspectives, very interesting to the conversation, to go back to Palestine, grow up in Palestine, yet get to see the liberalism of something like a major U.S. city, and very open-minded and, very tolerant usually, and a lot of independence for expression, and it's really what I think is so special about it.
Well, honestly, I love to be in Palestine if I can, because like I said, I went back recently to live there. I lived for 3 years again. I tried to live there, but it was very difficult, very hard for me to live there. I'm not allowed to go to inside Palestine, which is Israel. Only certain places I'm allowed to move on, and I move really. Our movement is very, very hard to go from a city to like Ramallah to Beit Lahem. It's only 20 minutes, let's say, normal way. You have to go like 2 hours to go from Ramallah to go to Beit Lahem. very hard. You can't do this on a daily basis. So you have to stay in Ramallah, actually. And all the cities like this. You go to Hebron, it's like this. It's very hard. But for the Israelis, it's very easy actually, because they have special roads. They made special roads for them, which is connect cities and even faster way than before. So a very difficult situation, and you must be there. I mean, I don't understand if you still defend Israel. What make you really defend Israel? This is what I need to know. I mean, I'm trying to understand your point of view. Why you still support Israel? This is still that didn't come to me. I'm trying to think why you do this.